Welcome, wrestling fans, to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I am your host, Lewis, the encyclopedia of pro wrestling.
And Jay, the whiz kid of pro wrestling.
Oh, I love the introduction. Love the introduction. Wrestling fans, welcome back to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. We're glad you can join us. Thank you for always supporting us and tuning into our content. Now, as many of you know, we originally had the topic of one of the greatest rivalries, in my opinion, of all time, was Vince McMahon and Stone Cold. But we had a brain fart for a moment, right, Jay?
We did.
Because this Sunday is the Elimination Chamber. What better way to cast off the Elimination Chamber with the history of the Elimination Chamber?
Right.
That's our topic for today, Jaden. The history of the Elimination Chamber. And my lovely wife, Yesenia, your stepmom, our producer and director is watching. Thank you, honey, for watching and always supporting us. So, yes, Jaden, the Elimination Chamber. Luis Cedeno, what's going on, brother? How you doing? The Elimination Chamber. You know what it's about. No one comes out alive. Actually, not alive, but no one comes out the same from the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
Tell me, since you've seen the Elimination Chamber, what are your thoughts with this barbaric match? Hey, Jessica, how you doing? It's barbaric.
Wow. Like, the match is Elimination Chamber. It's a chamber, full of wrapped around chains with, a really hard roof. That match is always full of surprises. You can have teams going in there. You can have...
You've had teams going in there.
No, but listen. You can have... This type of match can have teams going in and the team coming out solo, which basically means the team goes in as a group and they leave solo, because that's the type of match it is. It's all about surprises. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to win. You never know what kind of weapons or what kind of attacks you'll expect in that Elimination Chamber.
Nope, absolutely not.
Elimination, and especially the structure on the Elimination Chamber. It is absolutely insane. So, dangerous match.
No, it's definitely a dangerous match. And as you said, this match pretty much changes careers. It changes people in a mindset that you will never see. Like, exactly. It's so barbaric. Like, it's like War Games, but with...
It's just basically modern day. If that's what you want to say.
Exactly. It's definitely a modern day. So, today, we're going to discuss the history of the Elimination Chamber match. And we're going to go straight to the first match ever Elimination Chamber match, which was for the World Heavyweight title at the time in Survivor Series 2002. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Kane, and Rob Van Dam. Now, those 6 elite superstars were just... And
matter of fact, the guy who created the Elimination Chamber is in the match. Triple H. With the help of Eric Bischoff, this match was created by Triple H. So, that match.
Now, see, but that match had pitted for Shawn Michaels to win the match, because he came back, brand new. His career was skyrocketing. He was a changed man.
Right.
He he was enjoying his time, his tenure in the World Wrestling Federation at the time.
Right.
In the WWE. But do you think Shawn Michaels should have won that title even if he came back?
Well, who was the winner of the match?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Okay, so
Shawn Michaels became the new World Heavyweight Champion. Are you not listening to me?
You just said repeat that question again.
What would have happened if Shawn Michaels would not have won that match?
Okay. I thought you said the opposite. But I don't know. I feel like his career still would have went great because he like you said, he was just coming from a return. and his career was skyrocketing, like you said. So I feel like it would have affected him a little bit, due to him not winning the match, but it would have affected everybody else in the match that didn't win because he's fighting other people in the match too. But I feel like it wouldn't have had such a big impact on him. I feel like if he would have won, or he won, but I feel like even if he would have lost, he still would have got such a big pop like how he did.
Okay. So let me ask you something. With Shawn Michaels, after Shawn Michaels won the World Heavyweight title, he won the World Heavyweight title, and then next thing you know, his career just started going far beyond into a new heights. You know what I'm saying? So if Shawn Michaels would have never won that match, do you think his career would have been the way it would have?
I do.
Okay. And why do you think nobody else should have won that match?
See, that's the thing. I don't think nobody else should have won.
Well, see, we have a few here. We have Bradley that's saying RVD should have won that match.
Like he said, RVD could have won the match. And, other people in that match could have won. But that's what I'm saying. I really didn't have a pick in the match at the time. It was just interesting because that was the first ever Elimination Chamber match. And they had good contestants in the match. So it wasn't really, like a competition-wise. So I really didn't think anybody shouldn't have won, but should have won either. It was just, like a free thing. So whoever won, I wasn't going to be mad at because I feel like everyone deserved to be in that match.
Okay.
And it just so happened to be Shawn Michaels, probably for the reason that he just returned and, they wanted to give him that great career that he had before.
Okay, so let's go to a comment here from Christopher Brown, one of our loyal fans. Welcome, Christopher, and Bradley Day as well. It says, to be honest, Lewis, if HBK didn't win that match, Jericho probably could have used the win the most out of who was in that match. You're absolutely right. He would have been the most to gain out of that match.
I agree.
Because Chris Jericho was just starting to uprise in his career. And this is why the problem that we have now, that you're trying to bring these legends back. That's what happened with Shawn Michaels. But Shawn Michaels came back, but he came back for good. He was in WWE to 2008, 2009, around that time, somewhere 10 maybe. I'm not sure, but he was there back for a long time.
He was there for a long time.
But he decided to hang it up because he knew that it was time to bring in the new guns, the young breed. Bring in the young breed, bring them in, and it's like, come on. I appreciate him winning the match, but quite frankly, I agree with Mr. Bradley and Christopher Brown.
That's what
either
I'm saying.
RVD,
like I said,
or Shawn Michaels, RVD or Chris Jericho should have won that match.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I feel like it doesn't. I didn't really care who would have won or not because everybody, the people who got into the match deserved to be in the match. But it was all different pops at the time. They were all getting different pops. So I agree 100% too. But like I said, I didn't really have a pick in the match. It was just interesting since it was the first ever Elimination Chamber match.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it was a hell of an Elimination Chamber. So it's like, wow. Let's let's get it going.
Right.
So now when we also talk about Elimination Chambers, for me personally, I think the one person that has been in the most Elimination Chamber matches, I think it's Triple H.
Hasn't he been the one to win the most Elimination Chamber matches?
I wouldn't say win the most, but he has been in many.
He has.
And when you talk about win one, here's one that he did win. This was in the Elimination Chamber, SummerSlam 2003. He was in the Elimination Chamber. It was Triple H, Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Randy Orton. So, Jada, when you hear those men, what comes to mind?
Man, I don't know. A lot of brawling going on. A lot of... Man, I really don't know. A lot of sledgehammers. Basically just an all-out brawl with everyone. Those were good guys in the Elimination Chamber match, people like Goldberg, Triple H, the guy who won the match. And I'm pretty sure those two were the last people in the ring, and that's what got Triple H's win. He beat Goldberg.
Triple H pretty much won with the assistance of his brother-in Randy Orton, because Randy Orton was part of Evolution at the time.
Yep.
So he got his help, and then the entire Evolution clan came out. You know, and it was like, okay.
See, so then, do you really think Triple H should have won that match then?
In a way, in a sense, yes, because Goldberg was just starting his career. He was just coming into the WWE. He beat The Rock. He needed some leverage. In order to gain that momentum in the WWE. You understand what I'm saying? So when it came to that, they pretty much put him as he was so vulnerable and he couldn't fend for himself. You know, so pretty much that's why Triple H won that to me.
What do you think if Evolution never jumped in the match?
See, even right here, Bradley says, I'm kind of happy that Goldberg didn't win that match or Kevin Nash. You see, because it wouldn't build their career.
Right.
And Christopher Brown says Triple H has the most numbers of victories with 4. Chris Jericho holds the distinctions of being involved in the most number of Elimination Chamber matches to date, 8, and eliminating the most wrestlers, 10. Wow. That's definitely history.
That is history.
That's definitely history. And yes, Bradley, Ric Flair always helped him with the sledgehammer.
Always.
But Triple H, you know, with stuff like that, it's you see things that happen like that, and it's like, what next? What happens to their career after that? You know, was Goldberg successful after the Elimination Chamber?
Right.
You know, what did he become? Did he win the World Heavyweight title? You know, at that time.
Right.
You know, right after the Elimination Chamber.
Exactly.
You understand? But Jaden, if you would have had your chance to pick a winner here, would you rather have Triple H?
I would.
Why?
Well, from one of those reasons, like you said, I feel like if you were to pick someone, you know, such as like Kevin Nash or Goldberg, it wouldn't have did anything to their careers.
It wouldn't have done no justice.
Exactly. Nothing would have happened. So I feel like Triple H, since especially that match was made for basically Triple H, or Triple H was the one, you know, that invented it. It was kind of cool that he had Evolution with him in the match.
Excuse me, yo.
Hey, Grandma.
Your grandmother said, "What's up, my 2 handsome family guys?" Hey, Nancy.
But yeah, it was crazy that I wasn't surprised that I seen Evolution, but it was absolutely awesome to see it because, you know, Evolution was probably
Evolution. Listen, that was the reason that they made that
exactly
they got hot,
that
because
exactly
with Evolution it made the rivalry with Goldberg even more.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Intense, right.
And then Goldberg took out the entire Evolution at the time and won the World Heavyweight title at a point, and then
So I feel like I'm glad also Goldberg didn't win that, because that was a perfect build up for that.
Of course it was a perfect build up.
But Goldberg lost and he got retaliation by fighting Evolution and destroying them all.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that
that was after the fact that they attacked him. Actually Batista attacked him on Monday Night Raw, and that's when Batista cashed in on Goldberg for I think it was some sort of bounty. I think it was $100,000, something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's what created the battle between Triple H and Goldberg inside the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. It's good that Goldberg didn't win that Elimination Chamber because the build-up was perfect.
Exactly.
Because when Goldberg had those stitches in his head, he had tape in his head, and he said, "Okay, you want my attention? You got my attention. You looking for a fight? I'm a kick-ass machine. I'm coming at you." And then his music hit, boom. Like, the shit hit the fan.
Right.
The fans went nuts. He beat the crap out of Triple H.
Right.
And the fans were going crazy. Like, I'm going to show you that video if you haven't seen it.
I've seen it.
But it was amazing. It was simply amazing.
Yeah.
So, when you talk about another Triple H match, like Christopher Brown was mentioning, Triple H has paid his dues in the Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
He actually defended... Well, I think he defended or
I think pretty sure no.
I
think he took it from Randy Orton.
Probably Randy. I'm not too sure. Probably Randy Orton.
Possibly. I think it is.
Okay, but the match was for the World Heavyweight title. New Year's Revolution 2005. Triple H, Batista, Chris Benoit, Edge, Chris Jericho, and Randy Orton. Jaden, give us your input on this
match. I seen this match. This was my favorite rivalry. This was the rivalry. This was the build up for the rivalry between Evolution when Randy Orton left Evolution. But you know, Triple H won the match. It was a hectic match. It was bloody too. And Dad, did you know that Batista helped Triple H win that match?
Of course.
Batista helped him win the match to cause Randy Orton the loss.
But do you know that Batista got eliminated first?
He did get eliminated
but
first.
But Triple H didn't do anything about it.
Right, exactly.
So that's what made it even more, because Randy Orton wasn't even in Evolution anymore. So what made it even worse that Batista started changing. And then that's when Batista and Triple H started getting that rivalry closer and closer together. That it just, the build-up was great.
And
making him look like a monster in the Royal Rumble was amazing. Like he was just on a rampage.
So that match was a great build-up.
So do you think nobody else in that match should have won that match?
I feel no.
At all?
Just for that reason, because it was a good build up to a really excellent rivalry.
So you would not have wanted to see a rivalry between Chris Benoit and Triple H.
I couldn't see that.
Or Chris Jericho. I'm
going in this with an open mind. I can't see those two happening. I can't see Triple H versus a Chris Jericho. Chris Benoit versus a Triple H.
Okay, so at that time, that was the logical thing to do. Put Batista and Triple H, because the man, he was a brolic dude.
And you gotta think about it too. Evolution was still a thing at the time. Triple H and
hold it. We got a guest, Mr. Brian Montalvo. Welcome, sir.
You gotta think about it. Evolution still had their three members: Rick, Triple H, and Batista. They were still together, at the time.
Until when it came that moment when Batista won that Royal Rumble. And remember, Ric Flair tried to eliminate Batista.
Look, that's what I'm saying.
Rumble.
Let me finish. Look, after that, Batista got eliminated first, and Batista was still in the chamber helping out Triple H. I'm pretty sure he gave Randy Orton a clothesline, and then Triple H won the match.
And he gave him the Batista bomb,
exactly.
I believe.
And then after that, Triple H won the match, causing Randy Orton the match as well.
Exactly.
And then after that, that's when everything broke loose, because then Batista turned on him.
Exactly.
So it was a start to a whole bunch of good rivalries, because they were also having problems with Randy Orton at the time too. And then that's when the Animal
Randy Orton was just an icing on the cake, and because remember, when Triple H and Batista were in the ring, Randy Orton showed them the footage that Triple H did not help Batista. So that's what made it even more controversial.
That's what made Batista turn.
Exactly. Like, okay, and then that's what set the wheel for that Elimination Chamber.
When the Animal was born.
The Elimination Chamber set the stage for that rivalry. That Elimination Chamber, I can actually say I enjoyed.
I enjoyed that too. Winning. Me too.
So, but
that's why I said I feel like Triple H deserved to win that, because it was a perfect.
Bradley says, wasn't Shawn Michaels the referee? I believe so. I'm not sure. You're absolutely right, Chris. I'm not sure. I think if I remember correctly as well, I think he was a special guest referee for that match. But I think he got hurt at a point and a different referee came in, because that would have never happened with Batista. But I don't know. I'm not remembering at this moment. But there is one thing I can remember though, Jaden. It's to tell our fans, please feel free to share our content and share it all over social media. Bring in your friends, your cousins, your mothers, your fathers, everybody. Everybody knows. Just bring them in. Let's talk wrestling. Let's have fun. Elimination Chamber, the history of the Elimination Chamber.
Bradley Day is correct. That is that's one of the underrated Elimination Chamber. It was good
because it's not talked about a lot.
Not.
Yes,
nobody talks. That's one of the most unique Elimination Chamber.
No, it was a good match.
And little do people know that was a small step to building a rivalry between Batista and Triple H.
Absolutely, and not only that. Before we go into the next one, I'm going to add this into it real quick. Randy Orton was officially born the Legend Killer. When he became a heel after he left
That was the
Evolution and challenged the Undertaker.
That was the best Randy Orton in my
Yes.
opinion. That's my favorite Randy Orton of all time.
So, but here's another one. Another one that also was in New Year's Revolution 2006, which this one was interesting. We're gonna talk about this one. You got John Cena, Kurt Angle, Carlito.
I remember this
Chris
one.
Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, and Kane for the WWE Championship.
And John Cena had the WWE Championship. And let me tell you why I love this match so much. These guys were absolutely going at it. Everyone was going crazy. And knowing John Cena with his luck, he was the first one to get busted open. But he was the last one to be in the ring, which was absolutely amazing because John Cena fought through like 5 other people just to stay in his place. But Edge came.
The ultimate opportunist.
Edge came, cashed in his Money in the Bank, and beat John Cena for the WWE title.
Wow,
that was unique.
That was really unique. That was
it.
the first ever. That was the first time ever that anyone has the first Money in the Bank match that the person with the briefcase cashes in right after a title
and he
match.
cashed in for a really great title too.
Okay, so Christopher Brown has a question for me. He says, now let me ask you something, Lewis, about the concept of the Elimination Chamber match itself. Lewis, do you think the Chamber match is best used as a feud ender or something to begin a feud for Mania? I gotta say for Mania. For instance, we're gonna talk about the Elimination Chamber for this upcoming Sunday. You know for a fact there's something going to be involved in this Elimination Chamber that's going to lead into WrestleMania.
Of course,
I guarantee you that.
Of course.
And I don't think Randy Orton has won many, Clifford. I don't think he's won many Elimination Chamber matches. I'm not too sure.
I don't think so.
I would have to check.
Either. How many has he? I don't even remember how many he's been in.
He's been in several. Actually, yes, he did win one.
He's won
in 2014. He won. He won the WWE World Heavyweight title. Yes, he actually did win, but that was one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, back to this one with John Cena and them. Now, in your opinion, Jay, do you think that Elimination Chamber would not have been as hype if Edge would have never cashed in?
I don't think so.
Okay, so what do you think would have happened if John Cena would have not have won that match?
That's a good question.
And do you think that rivalry was good between Edge and John Cena?
I feel like, okay, so before I answer this question, who do you think would have won the title if John Cena didn't win it?
To be honest with you, I honestly would have gave it to Kurt Angle.
Okay.
But the question is, can you picture the rivalry between Edge and Kurt Angle? Would it had been the same reaction?
But look, listen, this is what I was gonna say.
As Kurt Edge Angle, and John Cena.
But look, listen, Kurt Angle wins the title. Him and John Cena go on after a rivalry, and then Edge comes into the rivalry, and then that's when him and John Cena start a feud. Him and John Cena started a feud. Edge and John Cena started a feud after Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank. But what if Kurt Angle won, and then him and John Cena started a feud, and then Edge got into the mix-up of all of it? Edge could have probably cost John Cena the title because of that feud that they already had going on. Therefore, yes, I could see actually a rivalry between Edge and Kurt Angle. Edge probably could have cost the match for John Cena, and then that's when the feud, or other way around, Edge could have cost the match for Kurt Angle, and then they would. So
we got someone that Bradley agrees with you. He put a triple threat match at Mania for the title: Edge, Cena, and Angle.
Exactly.
Wow, that would have been a hell of a match.
That's what I'm saying.
That would have been a hell of a match.
Those two start one, and then Edge gets into the mix.
That would have been a hell of a match.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna lie about that. I would have paid to see that.
That's
one.
a nice. That would be a good match.
I think that the impact of Edge cashing in the first time was more.
It was
better.
more hype. It hyped it up.
Yeah,
it hyped it up. I feel like it still would have been a good ending because John Cena won, and John Cena was absolutely bloody, and John Cena was popping at the time. But once you heard Edge's music drop, was when the crowd went crazy. You seen the smoke, and you seen his leader next to him with the briefcase in his hand. Then he delivered a spear to John Cena and took it all.
It would, to put it this, in my opinion, I'm glad Edge won.
Me too.
And the reason I say that is because all the kicking and screaming and fighting to become champion, to be something in the WWE.
And I feel like Edge was the perfect person.
And Edge,
he fought for it.
He fought for it.
He fought for it.
He went for the championship.
He did.
Like, it took him years to win that title. And when he finally won it from John Cena, it was an accomplishment because then it skyrocketed his career to the top, like multi-tag champion, multi-heavyweight champion, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion,
all of it.
Like, the man's career skyrocketed because
so like you
was
said,
one of the best.
He fought for it, and I feel like he was one of the fighting champions, and he carried his champion well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I give absolute props to Edge for that one.
Absolutely, and it was a good decision by Vince McMahon as well.
Absolutely,
creative to do it. So, but we saw that match, and another match that comes into mind sometimes catches my attention, that why certain people didn't win in this match. You know, I like Triple H. Don't get me wrong, I like Triple H. But this pay-per-view, No Way Out 2008, you had Jeff Hardy, Triple H, Chris Jericho, JBL, Shawn Michaels, and Umaga. You heard all those names, right? Triple H won this match to become the number one contender for the WWE title.
Who was the WWE champion at the time?
I believe in 2008, it was, I think, Randy Orton. Yes, Randy Orton.
Okay.
Because that became a triple threat match with John Cena, Triple H, and Randy Orton. So you see the talent in that. Why do you think Triple H should have won that match?
Honestly, I don't think he should have won the match. I didn't want Triple H.
Oh, no, Bradley. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Bradley, I have it. Don't worry about that. I got an ECW one for you.
Oh, yeah, we have that.
We got one. Trust me, we going to get to that. We got a full hour of the show. Don't worry about it.
We got that. We got
that covered, brother.
We got it.
Don't worry. We got you.
I feel like I said, I'm going into this topic with an open mind. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I don't feel like Triple H should have won that match.
Why?
Because I feel like there was other talent in that match that could have won.
Okay.
All the rival. If Randy Orton was titled,
okay, so Randy Orton was the champion.
Okay.
Who do you think would have set up an excellent? Because remember, they put John Cena in the mix because he won the Royal Rumble.
Then Chris Jericho would have been the guy for that.
Okay, why is that?
Chris Jericho, maybe Umaga, but I'm gonna lean more to Chris Jericho. Because I feel like that would have been a great startup to a rivalry with Randy Orton and Chris Jericho. Like I said, if what you call it, I can't even get the words out right now. I'm thinking of so many things right now. I can't get the words out. So, okay, say for example, Chris Jericho was to win the match and become the number one contender for the WWE title. That would have been a start to a great rivalry. Or what could have happened is someone could have cost Chris Jericho the match. Well, someone in that match could have cost Chris Jericho the match, and Triple H would have won, and that could have started a rivalry for Chris Jericho and Randy Orton, and that's where Umaga came into the place. He could have cost the match for Chris Jericho.
Yes, Christopher Brown, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But people feel that Triple H should have won the match because of the history between John Cena and Randy Orton. That would have made a better match, which I don't agree with, but hey, that was WWE creative. But Christopher Brown is correct. To me also, the SmackDown Elimination Chamber that night was much better.
I agree.
Which pivot The Undertaker, Batista, Big Daddy V, Fit Finlay, The Great Khali, and MVP. The match was to become the number one contender for the World Heavyweight title, which at the time was Edge.
Then The Undertaker was the guy for it. I feel like The Undertaker was the perfect guy because you got to look at like people say, you got to look at history. Look at exactly.
I was waiting for that
exactly. Taker.
I was waiting for Brian to respond with The Undertaker.
I'm gonna tell you
it didn't take him long.
Why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. The feud that these guys had, going back to SummerSlam, going back to when.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, listen, going back to when Vicky Guerrero was in a wheelchair. Going back to when Vicky Guerrero was in a wheelchair, going back to when Vicky Guerrero made the match for the Undertaker to fight him, going back to when Edge and his little crew pushed Undertaker off of a ladder for Edge to win in a ladder match, I'm pretty sure, or a TLC match. You gotta look at the history between these guys. Imagine the rivalry these two would have had. Or the rivalry.
Oh no, they had a crazy rivalry.
They had a crazy rivalry.
After WrestleMania, it wasn't over.
Exactly. So think of the rivalry that they had. You gotta think of history.
Of course,
don't get me wrong. There was people in that match. There was great people in that match. I'm not gonna knock anyone.
Of course, Batista, MVP.
I wouldn't mind
the best pick was the Undertaker.
I wouldn't mind saying Batista either. But like you said, Undertaker was the best one for that match.
See,
all because of history.
Even Bradley says it. Taker versus Edge, great WrestleMania match.
Exactly.
Yes, it was.
Exactly.
It was an excellent match, and Edge put on a great exhibition in that match.
I feel like
a classic, instant classic.
Two people that Undertaker
makes me want to go watch WrestleMania right now.
That can really dance with the Undertaker the way they can was Triple H and Edge.
Of course.
Edge was
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels too. Wait a minute. Yeah, Shawn Michaels too. Those three were the greatest ones to dance with the Undertaker. And Edge is one of those guys to dance with the Undertaker in the best way he could. And I absolutely enjoyed the rivalries and all the matches that they had. I'm not even gonna lie. Every single match I've seen these two in has always been good.
Now you're absolutely right, and that's why it was great that the Undertaker won that Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about an Elimination Chamber match that some of these guys don't get as much praise as other top stars, because these guys also were good athletes. They were good wrestlers. You know, this was the December to Dismember 2006 ECW. Bobby Lashley, The Big Show, Hardcore Holly, CM Punk, Tess, and RVD. Bobby Lashley won the ECW World Heavyweight title. Jaden, do you think that should have happened? As much talent that was in that ring, CM Punk.
I don't think so.
CM Punk. You had you got CM Punk and RVD.
That's what
to start us.
Those
Hardcore Holly. I'm sorry, he was okay.
He's more ECW.
He wasn't my cup of tea.
He was all out ECW, so I understand what you're.
Yes, it was an Extreme Elimination Chamber match.
Right.
Extreme Rules, Extreme Rules was in it, but that's what I'm saying. That's why to me,
I feel like RVD should have won.
Exactly. Why?
I feel like RVD should have won because, you're using the word extreme. RVD was an ECW.
He was the original.
Exactly, original.
And
I feel like that would have ascended his career so high.
Of course.
Especially since the fact it was an extreme Elimination Chamber match. That's not no ordinary Elimination Chamber match. Mm-hmm. And the things you can see RVD do in the ring is absolutely unique. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that would have gave him a super big step in his career. And I still don't understand why they didn't have RVD win that match to this day. I feel like RVD was the perfect guy to win that match, especially like you said, he's an original and he was an extreme. He was an extreme ECW guy, and his career would have went to new heights.
Well, his career definitely eventually did go to new heights because he did win.
He did
win the Money in the Bank.
He did.
He won the Money in the Bank, and he officially cashed it against John Cena, and won.
But, okay, he did, but imagine if he would have won the Elimination Chamber match, and then he would have got the Money in the Bank.
Well, I guess...
Look how high his career would have been.
That's what I'm saying, but so they probably didn't want to do that because they wanted to pretty much transcend his career from there when he won the Elimination Chamber. Because remember, the Big Show was World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and RVD beat the Big Show. And then... He won the Money in the Bank as the World Heavyweight Champion, and then he just said, "I'm just gonna give it to John Cena right here and sign a contract.
Right.
I'm challenging you to the ECW event." But Bobby Lashley at the time was this big powerhouse. They felt that he...
And I remember how the match planned out. Bobby Lashley got stuck in the pod and he had to get his way out,
and then the rivalry between him and Tess also was no surprise.
Right.
Tess also could have won the World Heavyweight title.
Tess could have won.
Tess unfortunately had his demons, and that's what messed him up. That's what That's what cost him wrestling,
Right.
you know, and it was unfortunate that
Right.
that happened. You know, and Big Show, yeah, Big Show also could have won, but Big Show was
could've
champion
won.
too.
He could have won. He really could.
Christopher Brown says, you recall who were the last who last two were in the match? No,
I know one of them was Bobby Lashley. I just forgot who the other
he won
one.
the
He
title.
won the title, exactly. So, but I just forgot who the other. I believe it was Big Show. I'm not gonna say it was.
I think it was
100%.
probably Tess.
It was either Test or Big Show. I think it was one of them. I'm not gonna exactly say it was him, but I think it was Big Show. I'm not entirely too sure yet, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
Well, it was still a good match.
It was.
But there was amazing talent in that ring that
Yep.
not many
It was
people
Big
talk
Show
about
and
to this
Lashley.
day. Yeah, it was Big Show. It was Big Show and Lashley? It was Big Show and Lashley? Okay. So, those are guys that were overlooked. Me personally, I think Bobby Lashley should have beat John Cena for the WWE title.
You said who? Bobby Lashley?
Yes,
You said?
because
For the
but after his career,
Why do you say that?
because after his career, after the Elimination Chamber, it wasn't really much after that. When he lost the ECW title,
But do you think
he started having a rivalry with Umaga. Didn't really get much pay at WrestleMania.
But what do you think his career would have went any higher with by him beating John?
Of course it
Cena
would
for the
have.
title?
Of course it would have.
Why do you say that though? Why do you think it would have went as high? Because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that won the WWE title, but not everybody gets a big pop like you think they do when they win a WWE title.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold that thought. Repeat that question one more time because I got to repeat this comment that Brian just said. And it's true. It's funny how Bobby Lashley is this big powerhouse performer, and even to this very day, they have not yet to throw him in the ring with Brock Lesnar.
Why is that though?
Excuse me, I'm not sure.
Questions. Everyone.
James, welcome, brother.
Once entered.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. Questions.
Well, what do you
everyone
think?
wants
What do you think about that?
Why Bobby Lashley and Brock are not in the
Do
ring?
you think it's because Brock doesn't want to get his
Money.
ass beat,
Money.
or
Because of money. Because, yeah, that too. Brock.
or does
doesn't
Bobby
wanna-
Lashley not want to get his butt beat
It's
by,
probably going both ways.
or probably neither one want to lose?
This is what I'm saying. It's going both ways, but you got to do what's convenient for the business. That's what nobody understands no more. Nobody does anything convenient for the business.
No.
Everybody's just scared to lose.
And
because
no,
their
it's
career's
and no,
gonna
it's
drop.
not. It's not everybody scared to lose. It's everybody thinks they're gonna lose something if they lose.
That's what I'm saying. They think their
know,
career's gonna
like,
go.
come on.
It's gonna drop
It's-
all the way down.
Excuse me.
Like, come on.
Excuse me.
now.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I feel like that's why that didn't happen. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we can still see the match because
Well, let's see.
But
Who knows? It might build up to WrestleMania.
Could.
Maybe. Bradley says. Actually, let's go to James first. Cause Lashley will out wrestle Lesnar. Of course he would. And Bradley says they refused to do it. Heard by many sources, this is why Bobby Lashley wanted to come back. Yeah, of course he wanted to fight Brock Lesnar.
So it
Christopher
was
Brown
probably
says
Brock then.
it's both. Lesnar feels Lashley's beneath him, and it's not worth his time. While unless Vince gives him 7 figures, no,
7 figures.
you crazy. Bobby Lashley will kick your ass. Sorry, Brock, you're not worth that type of money.
You're not. Not
I'm sorry.
anymore. You're
No.
not. Not anymore.
I'm sorry.
Because back then, Brock Lesnar was actually good. Now everything's just Suplex City with him.
Yeah, no, ain't no Suplex City.
Right. Exactly.
That's
it's-
ridiculous.
It's just pointless now. And I'm glad Brock Lesnar's not in the WWE anymore.
Well, he's still on the contract.
He's still in the contract, but you barely see him anymore.
Well, I guarantee you he'll come back and wanting to win the heavyweight title again and complain and throw belts and
Better not.
whatever.
Better not.
And Brian says, I say let him drop the U.S. title and put him against the tribal chief. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Because those two had a major rivalry back then, and their matches was amazing.
They were.
That
They're
would-
both powerhouses. Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, I could see them going at it in the ring.
Of course.
So I would like to see that. If that Brock and Bobby Lashley thing never happens, so I wouldn't mind seeing.
You okay? You got gas? You okay?
I just drank some water. I drank some water. But I wouldn't mind seeing Roman and Bobby Lashley, the tribal chief, going in the ring together. going one-on-one. So I wouldn't. That would be nice.
No, that would definitely be nice. That would be a strong match.
That power.
And not only that, it can also include the bloodline. The Hurt Business against. The bloodline, the Samoans.
Exactly.
Samoans, bring the Usos. That's
right.
when you bring The Rock. Bring The Rock in and then have The Rock turn on Roman Reigns.
That would be the best WrestleMania
build-up.
That would be the best WrestleMania.
I know I'll probably sound like a fool with these predictions. But
That's a good prediction, though. I could see that. The Rock coming, the Hurt family, versus the Samoan family. And then The Rock comes, turns on Roman, and then they have a build-up to WrestleMania. That's nice. I would like that. That would be cool.
Absolutely. Well, according to Christopher Brown, he said, we will get that Lashley Lesnar match. It's just a question of when.
Right, exactly.
When. And what better time than to do it now in WrestleMania?
It's the perfect time.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure WrestleMania is right around the corner, too.
I would add Samoa Joe to the bloodline. I definitely would.
Is Samoa Joe?
He's Samoan.
He's related to them?
I don't know. I don't think he's related.
I would add that too. Honestly, I would add Samoa Joe though. I would add him to the bloodline as well.
Well, it'll be difficult to not add them into the mix. Like Samoa Joe. It's a shame that Samoa Joe is not wrestling anymore. He's a great commentator.
He stopped wrestling.
He stopped wrestling. He's a great commentator.
Man.
Great commentator. But I
prefer Samoa Joe as a wrestler. I liked him as a wrestler. But you can't really blame Samoa Joe all the way because they didn't use him properly.
Brian said it definitely wouldn't be a regular exhibition type match. Hell no. These two powerhouses? Hell no. He said, I think Lashley would be a great Paul Heyman guy. I think he would too.
Me too.
I think he would too.
Paul Heyman has power like that.
Well, we shall see. We shall see how that's going to go. How everything is going to go with the Elimination Chamber when it comes to this year's Elimination Chamber, which we are about to get to, Jaden. The Elimination Chamber 2021 is a little unpredictable this year.
I'm gonna be honest though, because of the amount of matches, I'm not that hyped for it. But like you said, there's many surprises that can happen, but it's just the amount of matches that throws it off.
Mm-hmm.
The 2021, it's just the amount that completely throws
because no, but that's what I'm saying. It's a build up to Mania because now that WrestleMania is going to be held in Tampa Bay. They're looking to bring fans. They're like the Super Bowl, 20,000 fans and then some cardboard. 20,000 fans, still you can hear a pop. Just like when we saw the Super Bowl. But I'm anxious to see where this Elimination Chamber is going to go. Now,
I agree.
Let's begin with our first match, Jaden. The United States Championship. We were just talking about Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley defending the United States Championship against Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. Give us your thoughts on this, Jaden.
I feel like Keith Lee should win this.
Why?
Because Keith Lee is such a great wrestler. They're not using Keith Lee the way they are supposed to. Keith Lee is a big guy. He's a powerhouse. And he moves fast for his size. Like, give this man the credit he deserves. Keith Lee worked hard to get into the WWE. And I feel like it's time. I feel like not just yet, but start giving Keith Lee the push. Start slowly giving Keith Lee the push he needs. Just because, he just coming from NXT. Start him off small. Give him, a United States title. Let him hold it around for a little bit. And then, lose it to someone. Give Keith Lee that push that he needs. Because I like Keith Lee.
He definitely needs that push.
I like Keith
I don't
Lee.
understand.
Keith Lee is a great wrestler. They're just not using him correctly. And I'm mad at that. Because Keith Lee is absolutely amazing. And he has so much potential to be one of the greats. Honestly.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. It sounded like he is out because, according to Christopher Brown, it says it sounds like Lee is out because his girlfriend's still recovering from COVID. Might be. Not too sure. Bradley says Bobby Lashley is going to retain the title.
He might. He probably will. Honestly, I don't want that, but I hope Keith Lee wins that match.
Well, I would say this would be the perfect time for WWE to hold that match between Brock Lesnar and
Bobby Lashley. So do you think that Bobby should keep the title or not?
I feel that Bobby should lose the title to Keith Lee on account of Brock Lesnar interfering and costing him the United States title, which would build up the rivalry between them going into WrestleMania. What do you think?
That would be, yes, that is awesome.
Okay.
It's great.
It better be awesome.
What if it isn't awesome?
It's awesome.
Awesome.
All right, now leading into the next match. This is for the WWE Championship. These 6 men have done a lot in this business.
Yeah.
You know, they all are, you know, great performers. Some deserve to be in this match. Some, maybe. I'm a little objective with this one. But we have Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston. Jaden, what do you see in this match?
I see Drew McIntyre retaining the title. Honestly, I feel like they should have gave Kofi the title reign for a little longer, but like people can disagree, but I feel like Kofi fell off. They're not using Kofi the proper way that they're supposed to.
Because
like
Kofi...
But like, listen, now that the New Day split up, you can use Kofi great now. You can use Kofi the way...
But how are you going to use him, though? That's the question.
Put Kofi back to Mr. SOS.
Because remember, Kofi at the time was better known in the New Day.
He was better known in the New Day, but now the New Day's... That's what I'm saying. He fell off.
But that's what I'm saying.
The New Day.
So how would you, Jaden, the promoter, use Kofi Kingston right now?
I would bring Kofi Kingston back as Mr. SOS. Old Kofi. That's when Kofi was more, I wouldn't say death-defying, but that's when Kofi, was a man of many surprises, just like all the surprises he did in the Royal Rumble, when he did the handstand, when he used the chair as a pogo stick to get back into the ring, when he used the pancake, thing to get back in the ring. But that was as the New Day as well. I feel like they should have brung back Mr. SOS, Kofi Kingston as, SOS.
Well, okay, so Brian says Drew is going to retain. I can't see the title changing just yet.
Me neither. Drew's been...
He said Kofi with the Jamaican accent.
This is what I'm saying. That's the Kofi I enjoy. That's the best Kofi.
See, but that's what I'm saying. When that was that Kofi, he was United States champion. He was Intercontinental champion.
Look at it now. He already had his title win. Imagine bringing this Kofi back and having him a build up with Drew McIntyre and then him winning the title.
I can't see. Okay, I can't see that match. Drew McIntyre and him. I can't see that.
I can't see Drew. But look at what happened with him and Brock. Look at what happened with Drew and Brock.
Yeah, but Brock destroyed him in a few seconds. They embarrassed him.
That's what I'm saying. It was pointless. But Drew McIntyre is different. Drew McIntyre is a reigning, defending champion. Mm-hmm. I can see it.
I can't see it.
I can. Why can't you see it?
I just can't.
Why though?
Two different guys.
What makes it?
Drew McIntyre is a powerhouse.
Hey, then
Kofi Kingston, you can't. I'm sorry. I don't agree.
Okay, then how do you explain Undertaker versus Randy Orton? How do you explain?
See, but Randy Orton
listen. How do you?
And it's a different height.
How do you explain Big Show versus Rey Mysterio? How would you explain a Big Show versus a John Cena? It's just the same thing.
Yeah, but I just can't see it.
But I
can't see.
If I could see Mr. SOS, that Jamaican accent Kofi versus this Drew McIntyre.
See, Bradley even says that I can't see Kofi. I can't.
Not as this Kofi right now. Like I said.
Okay, so listen. I'm going with Drew McIntyre.
I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre.
But my question is that why all these guys, you got Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, guys that have already had their prime. Let's put some different guys in this match.
Who would you put?
Anybody. I would have put Ali in the match. I would have
I
put.
wouldn't surprised to see the Retribution interfere in that match.
You know, I would have put anybody that's up and coming talent.
Ali is the leader of the Retribution, right?
Anybody up and coming talent. You could have put them in there. You could have.
I feel like they're not used. I feel like this is Ali's push.
You could have put Damian Priest in the match. That he just came to the main roster, but no, you want to put him with Bad Bunny winning a 24/7 title.
That was probably I feel like it was too early for him to get a title shot like that. But the 24/7.
It's never too early to get a title shot like that. They did it when Carlito made his debut and beat John Cena for the U.S. title.
See, then
that same night on SmackDown.
Then that was kind of, I don't know. I can't see that. I can't see someone getting. You gotta work for it. Look at all the people. Look at the way
he worked for it.
Who? Carlito? Carlito or
Damian Priest worked for that.
Okay,
so that spot.
That's what I'm saying. So
Puerto Rico.
So Damian Priest, I can understand, but you can't just give someone a title shot right away.
Absolutely not.
See, like that Carlito thing you just said was pointless.
Of course, it was
you got to work for it.
But they did it because John Cena was on his way to a new career.
Okay.
He was going to new heights. He beat JBL for the title. For the WWE title, and that's what transcended his career from there.
Okay,
that's
so
when he was the doctor of thugonomics.
Okay,
you know, so I give him that.
I get it. All right, I understand.
Okay, so Brian says, speaking of Damian Priest, he needs to be the next U.S. champion. See, give that man a title. Give him a push.
So that would be a way to.
Christopher Brown says, how about putting in guys who Vince sees nothing in, like Andrade, Aleister Black. Give them something as an apology and start with spots in the chamber. Exactly. They both fell off. You could have put Shinsuke in the mix.
They messed up Shinsuke too. They messed up Shinsuke.
Like, come on.
Back at the WrestleMania where Shinsuke should have won.
Brian, I know. I remember I had read that up in his biography in the
they messed up Shinsuke
WWE
too.
Network.
Back when Shinsuke should have won the title against AJ Styles. They messed up his career. All three of them. Aleister Black, Andrade, and Shinsuke. They messed up all three of their careers.
All three of them.
And I feel like honestly, Shinsuke had the most potential at that moment to be the WWE title. Shinsuke was dominating. And Aleister Black was amazing too. And you can't sleep on Andrade either.
No.
So, it's crazy.
Well, let's bring us to the next match, Jaden. The Universal Championship #1 contenders match. Excuse me. Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and King Corbin.
I'm going to leave this one to you. Who do you got?
I'm going to say Kevin Owens because, for one, Jey Uso is going to probably cost him the match at some point, and then Roman Reigns, music hits, he comes out, spears Kevin Owens, wins the match, and then Edge comes out and spears Roman Reigns and challenges him to WrestleMania.
I had something different in mind.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like Jey Uso should win that match. Go on to face Roman Reigns. The Rock cost Roman the match, and then those two fight to become the new tribal chief. And whoever gets that goes down to Samoan bloodline. Mm-hmm. The two Usos join the new tribal chief.
Well,
I feel like that's what should happen.
This is what I'm talking about. Brian says, I like to see Cesaro win, but I think KO is going to win.
They messed up Cesaro's career
should have got that push.
Cesaro was great
right away.
Cesaro was amazing.
The moment he had that manager and he won that Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, you should have just skyrocketed his career from there. But they didn't.
They dropped the ball with
And then when you put him with Paul Heyman, what happened?
That was perfect. If you can never. That's one of the things I did not like. You can never mess up someone's career and then expect them to be a Paul Heyman guy. You can't see that. If you make somebody a Paul Heyman guy, you gotta make sure that their career skyrockets. And they just messed up Cesaro's career.
Yeah, even Bradley said he never got a chance, and it's sad.
They never gave him exactly. They didn't give him the chance that he has
amazing talent. And Christopher Brown says, Jaden, don't expect The Rock to be in the WrestleMania because he's doing a lot in Hollywood right now. Yeah, especially with this new show, which I gotta check it out. I gotta check out that new show.
He is doing a lot in Hollywood. understood.
But
So, yeah,
with this match, I'm
that's
going
true.
with Kevin Owens.
I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. I just gotta face it. I'm gonna go with Kevin.
And then the winner faces Roman Reigns at
Most
the
likely
Elimination
it's gonna
Chamber.
be Kevin Owens, and Edge is probably gonna interfere in that match.
Of course. So this topic.
Wait a minute. What about the ladies' match?
They saying Asuka's gonna fight Lacey Evans, but how? If Lacey Evans is pregnant, I'm not sure how that's even gonna work. Like,
Lacey Evans is pregnant, so they're either not gonna do the match or they're gonna find Asuka a new opponent.
Probably.
Who do you think the opponent should be?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Honestly, I just like to see anyone at this point.
I would bring Becky Lynch back.
I would bring Ronda Rousey back. I would like to see her get back in the ring.
Well, we got. I don't even know how the match is going to go down. She's definitely is legit pregnant. That's what I'm saying. Because they were still advertising it in the network and a lot of other streams.
Pregnant, so it's kind of hard to decide what's going on exactly.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't know how it's gonna be. He said, I see Asuka's match being dropped completely from the card unless he faces Charlotte or Nia Jax.
Charlotte, they've had pretty good matches. I think Charlotte Flair was the one that broke Asuka's winning streak. I'm pretty sure, because Asuka had a winning streak when she first came to the WWE, and I'm pretty sure at WrestleMania she fought Charlotte Flair for the women's title, and Charlotte Flair retained it. And Charlotte Flair was the one that cost Asuka her winning streak. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. They've had pretty good matches.
Okay. So Jaden, our time is up, son. We had fun. We had fun with this topic. This was an amazing topic. We were able to talk about the transcending of the people's careers after the Elimination Chamber, how everything went into WrestleMania and all that stuff. So, fans, thank you for always joining us. Thank you for always supporting us and sharing our content. Please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and now TikTok. And also, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Spread the word, bring everybody in. We enjoyed our topic today. Next week's topic, we thought about Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, but we're gonna put that on a back burner for a little bit, and because we think we gotta get a little bit more detail, because this one's gonna be, it's not gonna be for the faint of heart.
Right.
This topic, so we want to get everything in gear with that one, and we felt the Elimination Chamber topic was much more convenient, and pretty much it made sense to do it going into the Elimination Chamber match. But next week, you guys know who the hardcore legend is, Jaden?
Of course.
Okay. Who's the hardcore legend?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. The hardcore legend. Next week, we are going to discuss 6 of his most greatest rivalries of all time in professional wrestling. We're going to talk about every single match as we go along with Mick Foley. Mick Foley has taken on The Undertaker. He's taken on Terry Funk. He's taken on Sabu. He's taken on Edge.
All of them.
All of them.
The greats.
And now we're going to talk about, the king of the death match. The man did it all. Like, he was the king of Terry Funk. Him and Terry Funk went at it many times. Abdullah the Butcher, Big Van Vader. He also fought him too.
Exactly.
So we're gonna discuss that next week. That's gonna be a slobber knocker for that one.
Absolutely.
So a slobber knocker. So wrestling fans, again, thank you for joining us. For myself, Lewis, the encyclopedia of pro wrestling,
and Jay, the whiz kid of pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, yes, Sting. We're actually going to add that. Now that you mention that, we are going to put that first rivalry, Mick Foley, actually Cactus Jack against Sting. But we are going to we're going to name the rest of the 5 matches next week. We're not going to give you not today. But thank you for joining us, fans. Also, thank you for joining us, as well as my producer and director Yesenia. Thank you for always helping us with the topics, as well as all your ideas, because she is the brains of this operation. And fans, enjoy your weekend. We will see you next week. Good night, fans.